What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at our final exam review. We're going to do day 1 today, and then we'll finish up with day 2 tomorrow. So this is going to encompass everything that's been in this semester, all the way from chapter 1 through chapter 5. So let's get started. The first thing we want to know is, what is the length of BC? We know AB is equal to 18, and AC, which is this entire length, is 31. So what we'd have to do is just take 31, subtract 18, and we're given 13 as our answer. So BC is equal to 13. Number 2, let A be between B and C. So a good idea always is when there's no picture given, go ahead and write your picture. So A is in between B and C. So we have B over here, C over there. Use the segment addition postulate to solve for U, then find the length of AC. So BA is equal to 6U plus 12. AC is equal to 4U plus 18, and the entire length from B to C is equal to 40. So what we're going to do first is set up a problem where we have 6U plus 12 plus 4U plus 18 is equal to 40. And then let's go and combine like terms. 6U and 4U makes 10U, and 12 and 18 makes 30 equals 40. We're going to subtract 30 from both sides. So we get 10U is equal to 10, which means U is equal to 1. So now that we found U is equal to 1, we're going to find the length of AC. So I'm going to do 4 times 1 plus 18, and I'm going to get 22 is equal to length AC. Okay. Number 3, find the length of AB if these are my two segments. If you want to, you can draw a picture. So you can say, for instance, if this is your coordinate plane, that's why I put a coordinate plane here. So you could technically do Pythagorean theorem, or you can do distance formula, either one. Letter A is at negative 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just double checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it need to be one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And then, so that was letter A. And then B is 3, negative 5. So over 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can think about this as a right triangle. So we're just trying to find the length from A to B. Right now, the length of B is from negative 5 all the way to positive 5, or positive 3. So this is 8 units. And then letter A is 6 all the way down to negative 3, so that's 11. So if you wanted to, you could do 11 squared plus 8 squared is equal to, we don't know what C squared is. This is going to be 121 plus 64 is equal to C squared. Then we can just take 121 and add 64 to that. Excuse me, we're going to get 185 is equal to C squared. So you're just taking that square root. And that's going to give us about 13.6, give or take. Or if you tried the distance formula, I just took my x's, so I did negative 5 minus 3, squared that, and then 6 minus negative 5, squared that. I'm still going to get 8 squared plus 11 squared, so that's 64 plus 121, and still finding the square root of all of this, by the way, which is still the square root of 185, which you still get around 13.64. Okay. Number 4, find the measurement of FDE and CDE if you know the following things. FDE is equal to 2x plus 7. CDE is equal to 10x minus 1. And the whole thing, FDC, is equal to 66. So let's go and write our equation. 2x plus 7 plus 10x minus 1 equals 66. Combine like terms. I get 12x plus 6 is equal to 66. Subtract 6 from both sides. 12x is equal to 60. So that means x is equal to 5. So I'm going to plug that back in so I can find angle FDE and angle CDE. FDE is going to be 2 times 5 plus 7. So that's 10 plus 7, which is 17. So FDE is equal to 17 degrees. You can either take 17 and subtract it from 66, and you're going to get 49 degrees. Or you can plug in your 5, so 10 times 5 minus 1 still gives you 49. Number 5, find the measures of PMN and NMR. If NMN bisects PMR, then the measure of PMR is 94 degrees. Draw a sketch that shows this given information. Always important to show a sketch. So it says about 94 degrees. So that's slightly larger than a 90-degree angle. So we're going to say PMR, and then MN is that bisector. Okay, so the measurement is 94 degrees. So if it's a bisector, then you're usually going to take 94 divided it by 2. You're going to get 47. So NMR is 47 degrees and PMN is also 47 degrees. Number 6 says solve for x. This one has 3x plus 134 plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 180. Combine like terms, I get 8x plus 140 equals 180. Subtracting 140 from both sides, I'm going to get 8x is equal to 40. That means x is equal to 5. Okay, and then 7, these are vertical angles, so we have 3x plus 22 is equal to 4x plus 18. I'm going to move my 3x since it's my smaller variable. Move my 18 since I'm moving the 3x. Cancels out. 4 is equal to x. Number 8, a play yard is 19 feet by 23 feet. A fence is to be built around the yard. So we automatically know, this is not drawn to scale, obviously. If you're drawing a fence, that's the perimeter, okay? How many fence we'll be needing? If the fences cost $6.40 per foot, what will cost of the fence be? First thing is I want to add 19 plus 19 and 23 plus 23. So I get 38 plus 46. Adding those together, we get 84 plus 46. Very good. Then what we're doing is we're going to take those numbers and times that by $6.40. So 84 times $6.40 per foot is going to give me $537.60. Okay. If angle 1 and 2 are complementary and 2 and 3 are supplementary, find the measurement of angle 1, then find the measurement of angle 3. So angle 1 plus angle 2 are complementary. So that means angle 1 plus angle 2 equal 90. But I know that the measure of angle 1 is equal to 40. So 40 plus measure of angle 2 is equal to 90. That means the measure of angle 2 has to be equal to 50. And since angle 2 is 50 degrees, 50 plus angle 3 will be equal to 180. Angle 3 has to be equal to 130. Okay? All right, we were going to match all these with one another. So let's go and go down the list. The reflexive property is letter F. LM is equal to LM. The symmetric property is letter D. If X is equal to Y, then Y is equal to X. I'm going to zoom in here so I don't show confusion with how I'm writing my letters. Number 3, transitive property is letter H. Number 4, the segment addition postulate is going to be letter I. The addition property of equality, that just means you're adding the same number to both sides. That is going to be letter G. The subtraction property of equality is when you're subtracting the same number from the same side, so it's letter A. I'm going to go ahead and cut these off as we go through them. Multiplication property of equality is when you're multiplying the same number on both sides. That's going to be letter J. The division property of equality, I'm dividing same number by sides. That's letter C. Substitution property of equality, that's when you're substituting. So that one looks like letter E. Excuse me. And then finally, distribution is going to be letter B. Okay. Next up, identify the hypothesis and conclusion of the statement. The hypothesis is the if statement, then represents conclusion. Number 11, write the converse, inverse, contrapositive, and biconditional, and then if the converse is false, provide counterexamples. We're going to type these out because we'll end up writing for days, and I don't want to slow down the process of the video here. So we'll start with converse. Your converse is always starting with Q and then goes to P. So if a ray divides an angle into two congruent angles, then it bisects the angle. Okay, the inverse is not P leading to not Q. So that one would be this. If a ray doesn't divide an angle into two congruent angles, then it doesn't bisect the angle. Okay. The contrapositive is not Q leads to not P. That one would say this. If a ray doesn't bisect an angle, then it doesn't divide the angle into two congruent angles. And then we've got a biconditional, which uses if and only if. So a ray bisects an angle if and only if it divides the angle into two congruent angles. Okay. Number 12, name the property which justifies the following conclusion. This one is going to be the distribution property. And this one is multiplying both sides by 2. So this is the multiplication property of equality. Number 14, find the measuring of 1. We know that 72 degrees is here. So this means also 72 degrees, and 72 degrees subtracted from 180 is 108 degrees. So letter A. In the figure, L and M are parallel, and R is a transversal, so which one is not true? 7 does not equal 4, so letter E is not true. 2 is equal to 6 because they're corresponding, 8 equals 2 because they're alternate exterior, and 5 is equal to 3 because they're alternate interior. In this figure, the measure of angle ABC is equal to 125, so I'm going to go and label that 125, which statement is false. GEF is also 125, that's true. DEF is not 125. That one is obviously an acute angle, so that would be 125 subtracted from 180. The other ones are true, so we could only stick with letter J. And in this figure, HC is parallel to GD, and measure of angle ABC is equal to 113. Which of the following statements is false? GEF is equal to 113. That's true. Alternate exterior. DEF is 67. That one is true because 113 minus 180 is 67. HBF and AED are alternate interior angles. So HBF is here. AED is here. That one is also true. And then ABH corresponds with AEG. That one is also true. So none. They're all true. And then last one to finish up, day 1. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation that passes through the point -3, 1 and is parallel to the line. We're going to use point slope form. Y minus y1, which would be y minus 1, is equal to parallel slope means same slope, so 3 parentheses x minus -3, which ends up being x plus +3. Simplify, y minus 1 is equal to 3x plus 9. Add 1 to both sides. Y is equal to 3x plus 10. Okay, that's going to conclude day 1 of your exam review. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch us tomorrow when we look at